Hello fellow woodworkers and welcome to this week's edition of the Garage Workshop 10-minute tool review. And this week we're going to be looking at my best buys for Christmas for the woodworker in your life. Roll the intro. Now, every year, fellow woodworkers, I do one of these videos on things you can buy for a woodworker, and I reviewed all of my previous videos, and one of the things I notice is I just bombard you with lots and lots of different things that you can potentially buy. There's loads of these videos out there. Nearly everyone who's got a woodworking channel on YouTube has got one of these videos. So I thought I would do something slightly different this year, and I'm only going to pick out or point out products to you which I've used myself, which I've used in the garage workshop or in other aspects of my life, and I've split them into three categories. Those which you could spend a few pounds on or a few dollars on and put them on the stocking, in a stocking. Those that are sort of a little bit more expensive but sort of under $20, and those that are much more expensive if you're looking for a more sort of main or big present. So I'm just going to talk you through each of those sections and give you my recommendations for good Christmas presents. So we're going to start with the sort of under £10, under sort of 10, 15 dollar products, and I've just got a few. Now, some of the products you're going to see you have seen on the channel before, I've recommended them before, or they've been in a 10-minute tool review. But these ones are ones which I use quite a lot, and you don't always see them on camera because quite often they're used in the prep work or in other things like that. So the first one has been mentioned before, and it has been in a previous Christmas video. But the reason why I'm pointing out now, it's this picker pencil. Is I also have an equivalent pencil, and I'll give you a close-up of both of these, which I bought on Temu, and it is absolutely brilliant. Now, it's not quite as good as the picker one. I'm not going to stand here and say it is as good, but it's equally as good, and it is a lot less price. So if you're looking for putting something in somebody's stocking, then obviously the picker one is a really, really good product, but it is significantly more expensive than its sort of Temu equivalent. You can buy them on Wish or Alibaba, you can buy them anywhere, but this pencil is probably the most useful thing I've ever bought in the garage workshop, and to have a really nice cost-effective alternative is fantastic. So the first product, the picker pencil. The second product is one I don't think I've ever recommended before, but it is one I use so much in the workshop, and it is this. Common or garden tape, you might think, but this is 3A painter's grade masking tape. And the reason why I use this tape is I find quite often if you use the white or cream coloured ones, you can't always see the areas that you're marking out or masking off. I use this all the time, and it quite often comes up in sale, both in Aldi and in Lidl on their sort of middle aisle, and it's really, really worth investing in it. Really, really good, very sticky, applies to pretty much any surface you can imagine, and holds it there really well. And also when you do paint on it or put a mark on it, it's quite easy to wipe it off straight away. So again, a really inexpensive item, just something you can put a few rolls in the stocking of your favourite woodworker in your life, or if you're watching this, buy some yourself. Just a really, really handy thing to have around. And like I said, not expensive, brilliant stocking filler. So the last product is one that you probably won't have seen appear in any of the videos yet. It's something that I bought recently from Temu, and it is this. It looks a bit like an octopus's tentacle, but it's actually a drawing guide. It's a bit like a sort of bendy ruler, but it is for drawing curves on wood or anything where you want to have a curved shape. Now, one of the interesting things about this is, and I'll give you a close-up of this, it's got holes spaced equally every sort of 4 of the cogs on this gear, probably not the right term, but each of those knobbles, and you can get a nail in it, a thin sort of nail fits in it, so it just helps to sort of stick it down, or helps you keep the shape that you want. And obviously then you just use your pencil or your Sharpie, whatever you're using, to draw inside. Now this one is, believe it or not, this one is, believe it or not, a meter long. You can buy them in different sizes, and I will put a link to all of these, by the way, in the description for this video. It wasn't very expensive. I want to say it was something like £4 or £5, you know, $7 or $8, but I've used it quite a lot. I've also used it in my day job. As you know, I work in a school. I've used it there quite a lot. And the other thing I like about it is it's not flimsy. It's quite substantial. It holds its shape, so you do need to use something to hold it down. To be honest, I tend to clamp it as well. But just a really, really nice stocking filler. Again, link in the description, but for a few pounds or a few bucks, worth it. So my mid-range of products are anywhere, depending on sales, or if you can get a good deal online, they're anywhere between sort of £10 and £20, you know, $15, $20. And I've just picked 3 products out which are really handy. Now this one you will probably never have seen me use on the channel because I don't tend to film myself cleaning very often. But these Wonder Wipes are absolutely brilliant. You can buy them in lots of places. I think I got these from Screwfix. These are Everbuild ones. You can buy them on Amazon. You can buy them on anywhere really, and I'll put a link to one of them in the description. But these are really, really good for 2 things. Number one, it helps you remove anything that you spill. It's particularly good with wood glue, takes it straight up. So any spillage in the workshop, perfect, does all of that. The second thing it does is it's really good at cleaning tools. Earlier in the year, I dropped a spanner on the floor and I didn't realise, and it got some wood glue on it. And I just used one of these Wonder Wipes and it cleaned it straight off and made it nice and shiny like it's brand new. These you can buy in sort of different sizes. This one that I buy has got 100 wipes in the tub, but these are so useful to have around your garage or your workshop. So my first recommendation, Wonder Wipes. So for my second mid-range recommendation, I am going for one of these, which is a multiple sort of mini driver set. Now I have looked at these before on the channel. This one in particular I got from, I think I got it from Wish. It's a multi sort of faceted set. I use it for other things like computers and stuff like that. It's got all the bits at the front, and then at the back it's got a couple of sort of those plastic things to help you open things, like if you're breaking cases apart, you know, phone cases and stuff, and it's got the actual driver in it. It's also got a really nice extender, this one. I'm not sure if I'll be able to find this exact product, but I'll put something similar, a link to something similar in the description of this video. Super good to have around the house. I think this one cost me something like £7.99, you know, $10, $11. Nothing at all really. And the thing with these is it's always the quality of the actual driver bits which determines whether it's good or not. This one has got really nice quality driver bits. They're solid, even though they're sort of shiny and chromy and look a bit cheap and nasty. They're actually not. They're really good. You can buy these sets on Amazon, but obviously you'll pay a bit more for them. But my second recommendation is a sort of all-purpose driver set. My last recommendation in this range is something that I picked up on Black Friday and I've used a couple of times, and I just think it's absolutely fantastic. And it is this. Again, I'll give you a close-up. It is the Trend Corner Chisel. Really, really straightforward. So it does exactly what it says on the tin, where you've drilled to find an edge or a corner, or if you're doing something like putting a hinge in and you've used a router and you've got a curve mark, you literally just put it on the top, line it up on the corner, strike that with a hammer, and it cuts out the wood in an exact right angle. It's a brilliant piece of kit. Like I said, I bought it recently. It is adjustable on one side, so you can change the depth that it goes down to, but a really, really lovely piece of kit. And I think I paid something like $7.99 for it. Might be a bit more. Again, I'll put it in the description. I also think you can get them in different sizes. I went for this size, but just a really handy tool to have around the workshop. Like I said, I haven't had it long, and I've already used it quite a few times. And the other thing about it is it's got lots of angled shapes on the bottom to enable you to sort of put it in and butt it up against things to keep it nice and straight. So as I said, made by Trend, the corner chisel is my next recommendation. So the next range of tools I'm going to go for are ones that I would describe as being a little bit more expensive than any of the other things in the range. The first one, and you will have seen if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you will have seen a recent 10-minute tool review of this, the Basecamp M Pro dust mask. Now there is a link in the description. There is a link, an affiliate link in there, so if you are thinking of buying one, please use my code. Again, it's in the description. I would get paid for it, but it's not a very big amount, but it just helps to support the channel. In the review, if you haven't seen it, again, I'll put a link in the description for this video. In the review, I was super impressed with this mask. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I've used it a few times since that review, and I'm still as impressed as I was the day that I did the test. The thing for me, the absolute key for me is, number one, it's really comfortable to wear, doesn't prohibit your breathing in any way, and number two, it really stops you fogging up with your safety glasses. So go and watch the 10-minute tool review, but definitely a really good product and one I would highly recommend. So my next recommendation in this band is not as easy for you to get hold of, and it is this, the Parkside drill driver. Now this is featured in so many videos, and if you are a regular on the channel, you will have remembered earlier in the year I said it had burnt out and unfortunately it had broken, and then about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I think it was now, it reappeared in Lidl. Two things. Number one, it feels much heavier and much more substantial than the first one, and I think they've either upgraded the design or they've beefed it up a bit, because it feels bigger and it definitely feels more powerful when you use it. And it's got a light on it, which I don't remember my last one having a light on. It might have done, to be honest, but I don't remember it. When I bought this, I think it was $14.99, but I did get it in a deal they were doing in Lidl at the time, where it was a deal with batteries. So really, really good. Very, very useful. This drill, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. I tend to use it as a screwdriver. I have used it as a drill. It's not as powerful as other drills, but I just tend to use it as an electric screwdriver. And if you're a regular on the channel, you know how much I love this product, but I have to recommend this as one of my fantastic gifts for woodworkers. Okay, so the last gift in this range is this. Now, I call this a T-square. I think they call it a Woodworkers square. I don't know what they call it. You all know what it is. And this I got from a Temu haul video that I did much earlier in the year. Again, I'll put a link in the description. It was sponsored by Temu, as in they sent me all the products for free. I didn't agree to say nice things. I did for most of them, but this, I have used it so many times. And when you're buying a product like this, you'll all know, fellow woodworkers, the key is the ability for it to be dead straight. And as I showed you when I did the review, I put this up with my Wallcraft square, which I 100% have faith in, and it has stayed exactly true through all the uses. The only time I've ever had an issue with it is when I stupidly dropped it on the floor and it loosened one of the screws. I just tightened it up, put the Wallcraft square back on it, straight back in, and nice and square. The thing I like about this is it's not, you can see, it's not easy to bend. It does bend, but you need to apply a lot of pressure. It is really, really strong. It's got hundreds and hundreds of holes in it, so if you want to mark lines as you're going up and down, and it's got 2 scales on it. The only disadvantage about that, I think, is if you're watching this video from the US or from another country where they use inches, you can only choose either metric or imperial. It would have been great if one side you could have had imperial and one side you could have had metric, but unfortunately it doesn't have that. But to be honest with you, that's not a very, very big issue. This is much more expensive. I think this one was something like 40 or 50 pounds. Again, I'll put a link to this in the description of this video. But really accurate, really good, very well made, and much better made than its price tag would suggest. So my last recommendation in my sort of mid-range buys is a T-square. So fellow woodworkers, I did say at the beginning I was going to suggest a couple of larger gifts for woodworkers. Now I thought long and hard about this because number one, I don't think anyone's going to go out and buy anything purely on my recommendation, although please feel free to. But there are 3 items that I have had in the garage workshop in the last 12 months which I think are really worth buying. The first one, probably the oldest video, and again I'll put a link to it in my description, is this, the Hyundai compressor. Now you'll know if you've seen the videos, I went through a heck of a lot of trouble with B&Q over this compressor, but it is brilliant. It is perfect for the workshop my size. It does everything I need it to do. Whenever I'm using my air gun, my nail gun that's attached to it, it never runs out of air. It's super powerful and a really nice piece of kit. I don't actually know, or didn't know before I got it, how much I would actually end up using it. I use it all the time, and not just in the workshop. You can use it to fill your car tires, all sorts of stuff, but it is probably one of the best tools that I've ever invested in. So I'll put a link to it, an Amazon link to it, but you can buy them in lots and lots of different places. So my first recommendation, Hyundai air compressor. Now my second recommendation is without doubt the most expensive item I have in the garage workshop, and it is my Evolution sliding miter saw. Now I have to say straight out, Evolution sent me the product. I didn't pay for it, but I didn't agree to write a positive review. I agreed to write a very honest review, but there was no need to worry because that tool has literally changed my life in the workshop. It is a brilliant piece of kit, and again I'll put the link to the review, the 10-minute tool review of that. It is amazing. It is an expensive piece of kit, I'm not going to lie, but I think the Evolution is really keenly priced in terms of all the big manufacturers. It's got tons and tons of features. It's super powerful, battery operated, so you don't have cables anywhere and you can take it here, there or everywhere, but a really nice piece of kit. So if you're looking for something bigger, I highly recommend it. If you do decide to buy that or anything from Evolution, don't forget to use my code at checkout to get a discount. My last item recommendation for Christmas is one that I've done really recently. Now you'll know at different times across my channel, if you've watched, from time to time I've used things that are made with a 3D printer. Recently I invested in a bamboo A1 printer with the AMS delivery system. It has been revolutionary for me. It is a top quality printer at a really affordable price, and it is one printer where if you're just a part-timer or if you don't think you're going to use it very often, either the A1 or the A1 Mini are perfect. Anywhere you go on YouTube, if you look at all of these people that run printer farms, 9 times out of 10 they will be using the bamboo printers. They're so simple to use, so intuitive to use, and the Bamboo Studio app that comes with it, the slicer that comes with it, is so good. But it's got a couple of really nice features, Bamboo. There's a camera so you can watch it printing and you can check on it from time to time, and you can send print jobs to it from anywhere in the world via your Bamboo account. It's a really nice piece of kit. At the moment, at the time of making this video, it's still in the Black Friday sale. I think it ends on Friday. So if you're interested, again, put a link in the description to it. But if you've got the money and you're in the market, cannot recommend it highly enough. So fellow woodworkers, there is my Gifts for Woodworkers roundup. I hope you found it useful, and I hope there's something here for everybody watching this video. If you've got any of these products or you've got another one that you want to suggest, please drop it in the comments. I'll be really interested to see if you've got any other bargains or any other little tools that would fall in any of these categories. If this is your first time at the Garage Workshop, please can I ask you to subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification bell. If you are a regular viewer, please can I ask you to like and comment as well. Just a reminder, if you are watching this video in December 2024, which is when it was released, don't forget, next Monday, the 16th of December, is going to be the dropping of my collab video with Rob from Weekend Shedhead. I'll put a link to his channel in the comments. Watch that video. It's going to be well worth it. I hope you have a fantastic week, fellow woodworkers. Take care.